Oh man, it's your boy DP, and we back again. Kingpin Chronicles with another episode, man, where we gonna be going in. Y'all see the name of the video, man. Wack 100, man, you the goddamn police, man. Y'all like, subscribe, and follow the channel, man, because the game is not what it seems out here, man. Here is the truth. This nigga Wack 100, man, it don't get no more informant than what he done put on over the last couple of years, man. And then he just wrapped it all up with a beautiful indictment of the Rolling 60s Crips in LA, California, man. I mean, it's clear, man. They was talking about these hip hop police, man. It's clear that Wack 100 is the number one hip hop cop out there, man. He just took down probably one of the most powerful Crip members in the last probably 20 years, allegedly, right? With this Big U Rolling 60s indictment, right? So this crazy because you got a dude that's literally getting on the internet. Now, y'all ride with me now. This dude getting on the internet and talking about the specifics of alleged criminal acts, right, that people hadn't been arrested for. These people get arrested for these acts, and y'all questioning whether this dude the police or not. That is exactly why I'm telling y'all the game, man, what it seems, man. These dudes be out here with a gangster mask on, right, covering up a police uniform. He working harder than the police. He pretty much solved the cases and identified the suspects at the very least. But come on, man, this is the type of stuff that, and I thought gangbangers, I thought this wasn't allowed. I thought that it was a system in place of checks and balances that would check this type of stuff. But see, I knew about that gang banging and the flugaziness to that 25 years ago. I ran with, I ain't run with, but I got family members that's gangbangers out there in LA, and they spent some time in Florida. We was getting money, they got a connection to the land, but when I saw how the politics of the gangbanging worked, I saw that it wasn't no more than like a do boy thing. It wasn't no strength to gang banging. It was more so a bunch of like bullying and taking advantage of the younger people that wanted to be like and be around the older homies, quote unquote, who had these reputations and names in the hood. That never flew by me, and I never saw the sense in gang banging. And I just definitely don't see the sense in it if this is allowed. And I ain't telling nobody to do nothing, and I'm not condoning gang banging or gang violence, but I'm saying that it ain't what it seemed to be. You see, it's a bunch of games and a bunch of flugazy dudes that's out here, man. And now the people that's putting on as bangers is artists and rappers and all of the people who really ain't cut from the cloth to even be playing that role. So that's why we're gonna continually see things like this with these dudes wanting people to know about or wanting the people to see them in a view that make them look tough or like they some kind of gangster or like they doing something in the streets. See, the mob and the old black gangsters, they moved like that was what gangsters was. They moved in silence. Everybody who needed to know what they was doing and into knew. Everybody who didn't need to know didn't know. Because guess what? If you're putting it all over the media and the whole world know what y'all talking about, guess who else know about it? Goddamn police, man. I don't care what nobody say. Wack 100 is a federal informant. Y'all gonna continue to see these indictments. Y'all gonna continue to see these crimes solved, and just people put in all kind of positions because they want to go around these dudes and get on these podcasts, running their mouths about crimes they committed last week. Me personally, I wouldn't dare. If I had been involved in criminal activity anywhere in the distant past, I mean in the near past, meaning the last 3 years, there's no way I would be on here talking about the things I've done in my past. I feel comfortable with doing and talking about what I've done in my past because that past is so far away to where they got this thing called statute of limitations, right? So it's a way to talk about our histories and our past, right? But we want to keep it to where we're talking about either stuff that's already public record, right? Or right is out of the statute of limitations. Man, when people get on videos and go to talk about dudes killed somebody or dudes robbed somebody or dudes whatever with guns and all this, those crimes, the statute of limitations, you know, talking about it ain't the best thing to be doing, man. So if I was y'all famous dudes or dudes that's just trying to get a little buzz and get a little, out there, man, stay away from them dudes, man. Stay away from any of these dudes that's online perpetuating violence, glorifying violence, and making it seem like violence and crime, gang banging or whatever is the way for us to move and succeed in this world, man. As long as we got people pushing that negative narrative, we're gonna continue to have people with those negative mentalities. I'm here to counter that. That's what this platform is about. We're gonna keep pushing. It might not. I might not be the best speaker, right? And I might not have the best ways to correlate my messages, but I got a message, and I'm gonna push it. And those that catch it, power to you. Those that don't, stick around and listen. That's all I can say because I'm very basic with it. I ain't using no big words and all that. And I definitely ain't coming on here to confess, right, to no crimes or give nobody up in no crimes. Anybody that's doing that, man, I think they're going past what content creation is about and what it should be used for. I'm deciding to use it to, push my message, which is let's get away from all of that madness. Let's stop sticking ourselves in the foot, right? Because the foot is the first thing we use to move. If our foot hurt, we can't never move. So if our mentality toe up, we don't always be stuck in this revolving cycle of just basically stupidity because anybody that's going on and dealing with these dudes and in any kind of way discussion, any crime you done been involved in, around or know about, you just as guilty as these dudes. And if they ever have to go on the other side of that gate, they're gonna be looked at for this and they're gonna be judged. You better believe it. They're gonna be judged. And some of them dudes that's in that Rolling Six indictment that said stuff to get other people a part of that indictment, they might have some issues when they get behind that gate, man, to go do them bids. And these dudes are gonna wind up in PC. But they definitely gonna wind up cooperating, and I feel kind of that it ain't looking too good for Big U because a lot of these dudes they gonna cooperate and they gonna corroborate, right? They're gonna cooperate and corroborate all of they don't need but a couple of these allegations to put Big U away for a long time. So you better believe they're gonna get it. That's why the feds got such a high conviction rate because it's such a high rate of these dudes that's just gonna do the police work for them, man. I'm gonna tell y'all this, right? Without a snitch, they ain't never got a case. Without a snitch or somebody cooperating and assisting law enforcement, they never got a case. All of these years now went by with all of these allegations in this case, right? But it ain't till after Wack 100 bring it to the light, put it all over the internet, and then get some actual members, alleged members of the same gang as this dude, Big U, right? To get on the internet and do what? Corroborate. Corroborate. So, man, it ain't looking good. They're gonna get a conviction out of this case. When I first came out speaking about it, it was before they released the indictment, and it was just a complaint, and the complaint looked terrible. But the more and more you look into this, and you see the evidence that they got as far as wiretaps and all of that stuff, it ain't looking good. And these dudes, big Wack 100. Mission accomplished. You got what you wanted. You said you was gonna do it, and you got what you was looking for. Um, in my opinion, anybody that's working with these dudes and pushing these dudes' content, man, I think y'all just as guilty as they is of what they're doing, and I'm quite sure most of the people that come from the background that I come from, right, will agree. And when I say the people that come from the background that I come from, I mean people that really moved in the streets, the people that really was a part of that life, the people that suffered the consequences or went through these situations where people was doing stuff like this. Where because Wack is the equivalent to a neighborhood crime watch. They call the police on everybody, and it ain't gonna never be no paperwork, right? On neighborhood crime watch that's calling the police on the trap over there or so man, let's get away from this. Ain't no paperwork junk, you know what I'm saying? Because that's madness, but ain't no paperwork, you know. In my own instance, I went to prison for sales and possession of crack cocaine, right? And in my sales cases, they refused. They was willing to lose the case, right, rather than give up their confidential informant. I knew who the informant was uh, from the case. I know me and I know my life. So when I read the case, right, I was able to understand exactly who was working with the police, and I felt that, right? I felt that something was going on funny with the whole way the thing went on, and I was able to kind of save myself and not let it be as bad as they wanted it to be, because they tried to start off small and gradually move their way up and what they was buying, and I saw it and I just knew something was wrong. I think he tried to buy like an ounce of hard from me at one point, and I was like, I told him something stupid, and I was like, because I felt like it was the police. I believe I told him $3,000. I believe I told him, man, me 3,000, man, for an ounce, man. And the detective dude was like, the agent dude was like, man, you know, 300, 300. I'm like, man, you don't want it, and I ain't never deal with him no more. But I kind of knew they was the police, and I was like, okay, this motherfucker say he can go pay $3,000 for an ounce. I know it's the police. But either way, I cut it off, and I wound up catching the two sales that I did serve, $150 and a $500 sale. I went to prison for that, for a firearm charge, but paperwork ain't the end all say all when it come down to whether or not these dudes out here snitching. There's a bunch of ways to inform law enforcement, and all of them will not be in the transcripts or the documentation of the case, because there's all kind of ways the police uh, accept information in confidential ways, right? So but I'm of the opinion, and I'm gonna go out there and say it, because I always was the type. I could feel how I want to feel. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Whack 100 the police, man. I don't care. Whack 100 the police. I think Adam 22. I think all of those other podcasters that he working with know it, and they realized it with some of the things that went on in this case, and they kind of, they kind of putting them on blast. If you ask me, they putting it right out. They call them out, and it stick out like a sore thumb to me. But y'all please like, share, and subscribe. we're trying to build this thing up, man. Y'all get us subscribers over here, man, and I'll start pumping out the content. We get a lot of decent views, but man, y'all subscribe and let's build it up so the algorithm will get us moving, man. And you know, it's just me right now, but I'm telling y'all, when Jed come through, when we bring Magic through, when we bring all, man, I ain't even say no names, right? But when we bring this lineup through, I got an impeccable lineup, and I'm confident that I got the best lineup of OGs in podcasting that's gonna come because they all stood 10 toes down. They all represented. We just lost my boy the OG Bo Diddley, man, down south, my partner Jed. That's his, one of his childhood running mates, man. Bo got caught up, man. We don't know the ins and outs of Bo case. We ain't on here to discuss the alleged facts of people case, but man, y'all free Bo, man. And them suckers on that case, man. Y'all, man, let the OG, man, free the OG, man. Do what the real will do, man. Free the OG, man, whatever it take, man. Uh, we know we ain't gonna get into chewing nobody out about what they know better than and all of this. But what we're gonna say is free the OG, man. I hate to see it happen to another one. And I hate to see these brothers get out here, man, and it be rough. And at the end of the day, they got to live, man. They got to make money. They got to support themselves, and try to be a productive part of their families after all of the time that they went and did. So I don't knock nobody for trying to make a dollar, man. I really don't care how you make it. If you're trying to get some money, I respect you because you're a hustler. But shout out to Bo Diddley, man. Shout out to all my OGs, man. All y'all, man. That was freed up under the First Step Act, and Obama pardoned a couple people, and man, just welcome y'all back to the streets, man. If you one of them, man, you want to get your story out, you want a little bit of assistance in working on any kind of books, documentaries, series of movies, anything that you got that you kind of want to get out and put out, man, reach out to me, man. I know some people who know some people who know some people, and I can get in some of them rooms. I got access to the rooms, and that's the first step to getting your story out there how you want to. I can show you some things that you could do to just kind of get your emotion going. That's gonna be it, man. I've been running my mouth. I really came to just do a little quick video of this clown, Wack 100, certified FBI agent, hip hop cop, confidential informant, confidential source, whatever you want to refer to him as. But that's what Wack 100 is. I'm not giving him no leeway, man, because we participated in all police actions. And that's how I would look at it. If I was in the streets, I would look at that dude and be like, I'm staying as far away from him as I possibly can, because for one, he got that female tendency to where that when they get mad at you, what you want to do, tell all your business, put it all in the streets, and go to the police. But that's all, man. I don't spend enough time talking about this dude here, sucker to me. Wack 100, man, you the police. I don't care what nobody say. You are the police, and I'm gone on that. I stand on it 100%. If anybody can reach him and he don't like it, man, tell him to shoot that. Then we could jump on here and I'll let him know exactly how I feel about it. How about that? DP, man, Kingpin Chronicles. Real crime, right? Real consequences and redemption. I'm out.